Hello there and welcome to Late Night Historian. Close your eyes, take a breath. Let the world fall away. You are standing over your sister's bed. Her name is Gretchen. She is 12 years old. She is coughing. The cough that started 3 weeks ago and will not stop. The cough that is getting worse. The cough that will kill her without medicine and food you cannot afford. Your name is Jan Bakker. You are 18 years old. You are from Friesland. From a village so small it barely has a name. Your father died last year. Your mother works as a seamstress. She makes enough to keep you all from starving. Barely. But not enough for medicine. Not enough for the good food Gretchen needs to fight whatever is consuming her from inside. Gretchen looks at you. Her eyes are too large in her thin face. She tries to smile. To be brave. But you can see the fear. She is 12. She understands she is dying. I'll be better soon, she whispers. Her voice is hoarse from coughing. You nod. Cannot speak because your throat has closed. She will not be better. Not without help. Not without money you do not have. You have made a decision. You will save your sister's life by selling 3 years of yours to the Dutch East India Company. You will become a sailor. Not because you want adventure. Not because you dream of foreign lands. But because the VOC pays wages. 9 guilders per month. 32 guilders per year. Nearly 100 guilders for a 3-year voyage if you survive it. That money will buy medicine, will buy good food, will buy Gretchen time to heal, will save her life. The voyage might kill you. 3 in 10 sailors die on each trip. Disease, storms, accidents. But Gretchen will die for certain if you do nothing. Your death is possible. Hers is guaranteed. The mathematics are simple. You lean down, kiss her forehead. It is burning with fever. I'm going to fix this, you tell her. I'm going to make you better. She nods, trusts you completely, has always trusted you. You are her big brother, the one who taught her to read, who carried her on your shoulders when she was small, who promised you would always protect her. You will keep that promise, whatever it costs. This is why you are here. This is why, in 2 weeks, you will stand on the deck of a Dutch East India Company ship bound for Batavia. This is why you will endure 3 years of hell. Not for glory, not for adventure. For Gretchen, tonight we will understand what it meant to be a Dutch sailor in the Golden Age. Not the admirals or merchants, but the common seamen who hauled rope and climbed masts and died in tropical harbours. The men who made Dutch prosperity possible through their labour and their lives. But we will not tell this as a generic story. We will tell it as your story. Jan Bakker from Friesland, a boy who became a sailor to save his sister's life, whose 3 years at sea were measured not in exotic ports or adventures, but in letters from home, telling him whether his sacrifice was working. Before we begin that journey, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and tell me where in the world you're listening from tonight. Your support makes these explorations possible. Now settle in. Let yourself drift into Jan's life. Feel what he felt. Endure what he endured. Understand why some things are worth dying for. You are standing on a dock in Amsterdam. The VOC ship looms above you. Massive. Black hull. 3 masts reaching toward grey sky. The ship is called the Vergulde Draak, the Gilded Dragon. One of 40 ships the company will send to the Indies this year. You have signed your contract. Delivered your wages for the first year directly to your mother. 32 guilders. A fortune by your family's standards. Enough for medicine. For good food. For rent on a better room. Enough to give Gretchen a chance. Your mother cried when you gave her the money. Held you. Said you did not have to do this. But you both knew you did. Gretchen has maybe 2 months without help. With this money she has a year. Maybe more if she heals. Come home safe, Jan, your mother whispered. Come home to us. You promised you would try. Now you climb the rope ladder up the side of the ship. Your hands are soft. Farm boys' hands. Not calloused like the sailors around you. The rope is rough. Coated in tar. Your palms burn immediately. This is your first lesson. Everything on a ship hurts. The deck is chaos. Men everywhere. Shouting. Carrying crates. Coiling ropes. Officers yelling orders in Dutch that moves too fast for you to follow. You stand helpless. Lost. a boy pretending to be a sailor. "Baka!" A voice cuts through the noise. An officer, middle-aged, scarred face. He points at you. "Get those barrels below, now!" You scramble, grab a barrel. It is heavier than you expected. Your arms shake, you half carry, half drag it toward the hatch. Other sailors push past you, cursing. You are in their way. You are useless. You do not belong here. You spend the first day moving cargo, barrels and crates and sacks. Your back screams, your hands bleed where the rope handles cut into soft flesh. By evening you cannot lift your arms above your shoulders. You are assigned to a mess group, 7 other men. You will eat with them, sleep near them, live with them for 3 years, if you survive that long. One of them is older, perhaps 35, missing 2 fingers on his left hand. The others are young like you, green, terrified. The older man watches you struggling with a knot, shakes his head, walks over. "Like this," he says. His voice is rough but not unkind. He shows you the proper way. His hands, 4-fingered hand and regular hand, move with practiced ease. "I'm Piet van Hoorn, 4th voyage. I'm going to teach you not to die stupidly." You introduce yourself. "Jan Bakker, 1st voyage, from Friesland." Piet nods. "Most of you won't make it past 6 months. Disease, accidents, stupidity, but some will. Pay attention and you might be one of them." That night you lie in your hammock. The deck below is cramped, dark, the air thick with the smell of unwashed bodies and bilge water. 120 men sleep here. Hammocks hanging so close you can hear every breath, every movement. Your hands throb. The blisters have burst and raw flesh showing. You wrap them in cloth torn from your spare shirt. It helps slightly. You think about Grietje, about whether the medicine is working, about whether she is coughing less, about whether your sacrifice matters. You will not know for months. Letters take 4 months each way. By the time you hear whether Grietje is improving, you will be halfway to the Indies. You can only trust, only hope, only endure. You are Jan Bakker, 18 years old. You have been a sailor for 1 day. You have 1,094 days to go. You learn to be a sailor by learning to suffer. Your hands blister, then callous, then blister again underneath the calluses. The rope work never stops. Hauling lines, climbing rigging, tying and untying knots until your fingers move without conscious thought. Your palms develop grooves, channels worn by rough hemp, permanent marks that will never fully heal. Piet teaches you, shows you which knots, which ropes, which sails. He is patient in a gruff way, does not tolerate stupidity, but understands ignorance. "You're green," he tells you one evening, "but you pay attention. That's rare. Most boys think they know everything, get themselves killed." He shows you the rigging, the complex web of ropes that control the sails. Each rope has a name, a purpose, a specific place. Learning them is like learning a new language, one you must master or die. "That's the main sheet," Piet says, pointing. "Controls the main sail. If that line breaks in a storm, the sail swings wild. Can kill 6 men before you can secure it. So you check it. Every watch, you feel for fraying, for weakness. Your life depends on every line on this ship. You learn the watches. 4 hours on, 4 hours off. Around the clock, day and night. The schedule never changes. You wake in darkness, work in darkness, sleep in darkness. The only constants are exhaustion and the motion of the ship. The food is terrible. Ship's biscuit. Rock-hard bread baked until all moisture is gone. You tap it against the table before eating. Weevils fall out. Small white larvae. You pick them off. Eat the biscuit anyway. Your stomach stopped caring about weevils after the first week. Salt pork comes from barrels. The meat is preserved in brine. So salty you can barely taste anything else. The water is rationed, stored in barrels that give it a wooden taste. It gets worse as the voyage continues, stagnant, growing things in it. But it is wet. That is all that matters. You vomit constantly the first 2 weeks. Seasickness, the constant motion of the ship, the roll and pitch and yaw that never stops. Your stomach rebels. You lean over the rail, Empty yourself into the ocean. Feel miserable and useless. Piet watches you one morning. You have just finished vomiting. Your legs are shaking. Gets easier, he says. Your body adapts. Give it another week. He is right. By week 3, the nausea fades. You can eat without immediately losing the food, can work without constantly fighting your stomach. Your body has learned the rhythm of the sea. The work is brutal. You haul on ropes that refuse to move. The wind fills the sails, creates tension. You pull with 5 other men, 6 bodies straining against physics. The rope digs into your hands, into your shoulders where you brace it. Slowly, so slowly, the sail moves. The ship responds. You secure the line. Breathe, rest for 30 seconds. Then do it again with a different rope. You climb the rigging in storms. The ship is pitching. The masts swaying in arcs. The rigging slick with rain and spray. You climb because those are your orders. Climb because the sail must be reefed, must be reduced in area to prevent the wind from tearing it apart or capsizing the ship. You climb while wind screams and waves crash over the deck below, and your hands slip on wet rope, and death is one mistake away. The first time you climb in a storm, you are terrified, paralyzed, cannot move, cling to the rigging. Baka! Piet's voice cuts through the wind. He is below you. Keep moving, don't think about falling. Think about the next handhold, just the next one. You move, 1 hand, 1 foot, 1 grip at a time. Reach the yard, the horizontal beam from which the sail hangs. Work with 3 other sailors to gather the canvas, to tie it down, to reduce the ship's sail area by 1/3. Your hands are numb from cold. The sail is wet, heavy, fights you. But you hold on, do the work, climb back down. On deck, Piet grabs your shoulder. Good, you didn't freeze. That's something. That night, in your hammock, you realise something. You are becoming a sailor. Not quickly, not easily. But the transformation is happening. Your body is adapting. Your hands are hardening. Your skills improving. You are no longer quite so useless. The heat is worse than the cold. You cross into the tropics. The temperature soars. The sun beats down on the deck. The wood becomes too hot to touch with bare feet. You wear shoes now. Everyone does. The tar in the seams softens, sticks to everything. Below deck is hell. The air is stifling, thick with humidity and the smell of too many bodies. Men sleep naked, sweating through the hammocks. There is no relief, no escape from the heat. The water tastes terrible now, thick. The wooden barrels are breeding algae. You drink it anyway. Thirst overrides disgust. You drink and try not to think about what might be growing in your stomach. A sailor dies. Hans from Amsterdam. He cuts his foot on a nail. The wound becomes infected, turns red, then black. The surgeon amputates. Too late. Hans dies 3 days after the surgery, fevered, delirious, screaming for his mother. They bury him at sea, sew his body in canvas, weight it with iron. The captain reads a brief prayer. The body slides over the side, disappears into blue water. Hans is gone. His hammock is taken by another sailor that same day. The ship continues. Life continues. Death is just another part of the voyage. You are careful after that. Careful about cuts, about wounds. You clean every scratch. Watch for redness, for swelling. Infection kills more sailors than storms. You will not die from carelessness. The ship stops at Cape Town, the Dutch settlement at the southern tip of Africa. A resupply point, fresh water, fresh food if you are lucky, a brief respite from the endless ocean, and letters. The company ships carry mail. Letters written 4 months ago in Amsterdam are delivered here. Letters you write here will reach Amsterdam in 4 months. Your mother has written. You recognise her handwriting. Careful letters. She learned to write late. Each word is deliberate. You read, Dear Jan, we received your wages. Thank you. The medicine is working. Grietja is coughing less, eating more. She asks about you every day. Asks when you're coming home. I tell her 3 years. She says that's too long. But she understands. She understands you are saving her life. Be safe, my son. Come home to us. Your mother. You read the letter 3 times. Eyes burning. Grietja is improving. The coughing less. Eating more. Your sacrifice is working. You write back. Tell her about the ship. about learning to sail, about Piet teaching you. You do not mention the danger, the disease, the death. You do not mention Hans or the other sailors who did not make it this far. You just tell her you are well, that you are thinking of her and Gretchen, that you will see them in 2 years and 9 months. That night you lie in your hammock holding the letter. The paper is already wearing at the creases from being folded and unfolded. You read it again in the dim light. Gretchen is improving. That is all that matters. The suffering has purpose. The sacrifice is working. You are Jan Bakker. You are 6 months into your voyage. You have 2.5 years to go. And Gretchen is alive. That makes everything bearable. You are becoming skilled, not expert, not experienced, but competent. You can tie the essential knots without thinking, can climb the rigging without terror, can work through storms without freezing. You know your place on the ship, know your role in the complex machinery of canvas and rope and wood that keeps this vessel moving. Piet notices. You're not useless anymore, Bakker. That's progress. Coming from Piet, this is high praise. He teaches you navigation, shows you how to use the cross staff to measure the sun's angle, how to calculate latitude, how to read the charts that show coastlines and currents and hazards. You are good at the mathematics. The calculations make sense to your mind. You could be an officer someday, Piet says one evening. Not common for boys like us, but possible. If you survive, if you learn enough, if you're willing to do more voyages. The idea had never occurred to you. You joined to save Gretchen, not to make a career. But the possibility is there. Officers make 50 guilders a month. 5 times what you make. That kind of money could transform your family's life. But that is years away. If you survive, if you want it. Right now you are just a sailor learning his trade. You watch dolphins one morning. They race alongside the ship, leaping, playing, their joy visible in every movement. The crew stops working to watch, even the officers. For a few minutes, the brutality of the voyage fades. You are just humans watching something beautiful, something free. Piet stands beside you. Never gets old, he says quietly. This is why some men sail. Not for money, not for glory. For moments like this. You understand. Despite everything, the suffering, the danger, the death, there is something here. Something that makes men return voyage after voyage. Not just the pay, but the horizon, the endless ocean, the beauty of wind and water and sky that surrounds you always. The storm hits without warning. One moment the sea is calm, the next the wind is screaming. All hands on deck. The call goes out, you scramble up from below. The ship is already heeling, tilting at a severe angle. Waves crash over the bow. The spray stings your eyes. Reef the mainsail. The captain's voice cuts through the wind. Now. You climb. The rigging's already wet, slick. The ship is pitching. The mast swings in wide arcs. You climb and try not to think about the deck 60 feet below. About what happens if you fall. You just focus on the next handhold, the next foothold, just like Piet taught you. You reach the yard. 2 other sailors are already there. Together you gather the canvas. It fights you. The wind fills it, tries to rip it from your hands. But you hold on, tie it down, reduce the sail area. Do the work because the ship's survival depends on it. A rope breaks, you hear it snap, a crack like a gunshot. The broken end whips across the yard, catches Piet across the face, opens his cheek to bone. Blood immediately, pouring down his face, into his shirt. Piet does not stop working, does not even slow down. Later, he shouts. Secure the sail. You finish the work. Climb down. Piet's face is a horror. The gash is deep, but he is moving, functioning. The bleeding will stop eventually. The face will scar, but he will live. The storm lasts 18 hours. You work through all of it. No sleep, no rest, just constant labour. Adjust sails, man the pumps, secure cargo that has broken loose. The ship survives. Most of the crew survives. 3 men are washed overboard, gone in seconds, swallowed by waves. Their names added to the long list of men the sea has taken. When it finally ends, you collapse. Cannot move. Every muscle screaming. You lie on the deck in weak sunlight. breathing, alive, grateful. Piet sits beside you. His face is bandaged now, the gash cleaned and stitched by the surgeon. He will have a dramatic scar. Another mark added to a body that already carries many. You did well, Piet says. Didn't panic, didn't freeze. You're becoming a real sailor, Backer. You nod, cannot speak. Too exhausted. But you feel something. Pride. Not in the suffering. Not in the storm. But in surviving it. In proving you can do this work. That you are not useless. That you have earned your place on this ship. That night, Piet develops fever. The wound has become infected. You tend him. Empty his waste bucket. Hold him through the fever dreams. Force water down his throat. For 3 days he burns. Delirious. Calling for people who are not here. Seeing things that do not exist. On the 4th day the fever breaks. Piet opens his eyes. Looks at you. You stayed, he says. His voice is hoarse. You taught me not to be stupid, you tell him. I'm repaying the debt. Piet nods. Does not speak. But that evening he gives you his spare shirt. A good shirt. Wool, barely worn. He does not explain. You understand. This is gratitude. This is friendship expressed through the only currency sailors have. Things, objects, the small possessions that mean survival. You keep the shirt. We'll wear it for the rest of the voyage. We'll take it home to Friesland. We'll keep it for years. A reminder of the man who taught you to survive. You are standing night watch with Piet. 2 a.m. The ship cutting through calm water. The stars are extraordinary. More than you have ever seen. The Milky Way is a river of light across the sky. Piet stands beside you. His scarred face pale in starlight. He has been quiet tonight. Unusually so. You ever think about what you'd be doing if you weren't here? He asks suddenly. You consider. Probably working my mother's small plot, growing turnips, dying at 30 of something preventable. Piet nods. I'd be in a Utrecht jail. Or dead. I was a thief before this. Got caught. Judge gave me choice, hang or sail. Some choice. This surprises you. Piet has never spoken about his past. 17 years ago, he continues, I was your age. Thought I was clever. Thought I could steal from the wrong merchant and get away with it. I was wrong. He touches the place where his 2 fingers are missing. Lost these to frostbite on my first voyage. Arctic run. Stupid mistake. Didn't keep them warm enough. Woke up and they were black. Surgeon took them off. I learned. You learn or you die. You ask why he keeps sailing, why he signs on voyage after voyage. Piet is quiet for a long time. At first because I had to, but then, I don't know. The sea is honest. You do the work or you die. No politics, no scheming. Just wind and water and rope. I understand this, I'm good at this. He looks at you. On land I'm nobody. Ex-thief. Missing fingers. No trade. No future. But here I'm skilled, I'm valuable. Men respect me because I know things. Because I can teach them to survive. You understand. The ship is not prison for Piet. It is the only place he has value. The only place he matters. You're different, Piet says. You have people who love you. Sister who needs you. Mother waiting. You have something to go back to. Don't throw that away. You promise you won't. But you also understand something else. Piet is teaching you because he cannot have what you have. Cannot go home. Cannot be loved by family. So, he loves you in the way he can. By keeping you alive. By making sure you get back to the people who need you. This is his gift. This is his redemption. Every sailor he teaches to survive is a small victory against the life he wasted on land. Thank you, you tell him, for everything, for seeing something worth saving in me. Piet waves this away, uncomfortable with emotion. You are less stupid than most, that's all. But you both know better. The watch ends, you go below. But something has changed. Piet is not just your mentor anymore. He is your friend, your brother. The man who will die at sea someday because he has nowhere else to die. And you will remember him forever because he made sure you could go home. The ship docks in Batavia harbour. You see the city for the first time. It is astonishing. and horrifying in equal measure. The city is built on bones. Everyone says this, not metaphorically, literally. The foundations are filled with bodies of workers who died building Dutch paradise in the tropics. Slaves, labourers, men whose names no one remembers. The heat is crushing, worse than anything at sea. The air is thick, syrupy, hard to breathe. You sweat constantly. Your clothes are always soaked. Within an hour of landing, you understand why sailors call Batavia the graveyard. You walk through streets lined with canals. The water is black, stagnant. Things float in it that you do not want to identify. The smell is overwhelming. Sewage and rot and death. The canals were supposed to be like Amsterdam, but Amsterdam's canals are flush by tides. Batavia's canals are dead ends, breeding pools for disease. Everywhere you look, you see wealth and suffering existing side by side. VOC officials in silk clothing, riding in carriages, living in mansions with servants. And in the streets, the workers. Javanese labourers, African slaves, Chinese traders, all of them gaunt, all of them marked by the violence of maintaining Dutch control. You see a slave being whipped in a public square, tied to a post, 20 lashes for theft. The crowd watches without interest. This is normal. This is how empire maintains order, through visible violence, through terror. You turn away, cannot watch. Piet notices. First time seeing this? He asks. You nod. Gets easier, Piet says. Or you get numb. Same thing. You hope it doesn't get easier. Hope you never become numb to human suffering. But you understand how it happens. You see it in the older sailors, the way they walk past atrocities without flinching, without seeing. They have seen too much, have no capacity left for horror. You visit the VOC headquarters, a massive fortress, stone walls, armed guards. This is where the company governs its Eastern Empire, where decisions are made that affect millions of people across Asia, where fortunes are counted and wars are planned and the machinery of trade grinds forward regardless of cost. Inside, you see mountains of spices, pepper piled to the ceiling, nutmeg in barrels, cloves in sacks. The smell is intoxicating. These substances are worth more than gold in Amsterdam. Wars have been fought over these dried plants. Men have died in thousands for the exclusive right to trade them. You are allowed to purchase a small amount. Sailor's privilege. You buy a handful of cloves, will take them home to your mother. Let her taste what you travelled 3 years to carry. That evening you eat in a tavern near the harbour. The food is strange. Rice instead of bread. Spiced meats you cannot identify. But it is hot. Fresh. Not ship food. Your body responds gratefully. A Dutch merchant sits at the next table. Fat. Prosperous. Drunk. He is telling stories to his companions about his wealth. About the fortune he has made. About the mansion he is building in Amsterdam with money earned from the spice trade. You calculate in your head. His annual income is probably 200 times your wages. He makes in a month what you make in 16 years. This is the mathematics of empire. This is how the system works. Your labour creates his wealth. Your sacrifice funds his mansion. But he will never know your name. Will never think about the sailors who carry his spices. To him you are invisible. Replaceable. Just another body in the machinery that makes him rich. You could hate him. Should hate him. But you are too tired. Hate requires energy you do not have. So you just eat your meal. Appreciate the fresh food. Save your wages. Think about Grietje, about the letter you will write tomorrow, asking how she is. You spend your shore leave carefully, 2 weeks while the ship is unloaded and prepared for return. Most sailors spend everything on wine and women and gambling. Wake up broke and sick, but you save. Every guilder you do not spend is a guilder your mother will receive. You buy a few small things, a bone-handled knife, good tobacco, a carved wooden box. These are for home, for showing Grietje what the Indies look like, for proving you are here. But mostly you save. You write your letter to your mother, tell her about reaching Batavia, about being halfway through the voyage, about the city and the heat and the spices. You ask about Grietje, about whether she is well, whether the coughing has stopped, whether she is strong again. The letter will take 4 months to reach Amsterdam. The answer will take 4 more months to reach you. You will not know how Gretchen is doing until you are most of the way home. You can only trust, only hope, only continue. The next week you load cargo. The work is brutal in this heat. Carrying barrels of pepper from warehouse to ship, sacks of nutmeg, bales of cinnamon bark. Each load feels heavier than the last. The sun is merciless. Men collapse from heat, are carried to shade, revived with water, sent back to work. You see what all this wealth costs, not just in guilders, but in bodies, in lives. Every barrel of pepper represents someone's labour, someone's sweat, someone's suffering. The spices are expensive not because they are rare, but because extracting them requires armies of workers willing to endure conditions that kill many of them. Piet works beside you. His scarred face is streaming sweat. This is what Amsterdam doesn't see, he says quietly. They see spices in markets. Beautiful exotic goods don't see this. Don't see what it costs to get them there. You understand, the system depends on invisibility, on Amsterdam citizens not knowing or not caring how their luxuries are produced, on the suffering being distant enough that it can be ignored. One evening, you guard the cargo at night, making sure no one steals the valuable spices. The irony is sharp. You guard wealth you will never possess, protect fortunes that will never be yours. Your annual wages could not buy a single barrel of the nutmeg you are protecting. But this is the contract. This is the bargain. You provide labour. The company provides wages. Everyone benefits, even if the distribution is grotesque. Even if you do all the work and they reap all the profit. A Javanese man approaches the ship. Old, thin, he speaks broken Dutch, asks if you have food to spare. He is starving. His family is starving. The company's monopoly has destroyed local trade, made it impossible for ordinary people to survive. You give him your bread, your ration for tomorrow. You will be hungry. But he needs it more. He takes it with shaking hands. Thanks you, calls you blessing, walks away into darkness. Piet sees this, says nothing, just nods. Approval. You have done the human thing in a system designed to crush humanity. The ship finally departs, loaded with spices worth hundreds of thousands of guilders. Fortunes in the hold. You are heading home. 8 months to go. If you survive. If disease and storms spare you. If the ship makes it. As Batavia disappears behind you, you feel relief. Relief to leave this place. This city built on suffering. This monument to greed dressed as civilization. You understand now what the VOC really is. Not a trading company, a machine for extracting wealth from human misery. And you are part of that machine. A small cog, necessary but expendable. But Gretchen is alive. You have to believe this. Your wages are keeping her alive. The suffering has meaning because she lives. The system is evil, but your participation in it serves good. This is the bargain you made. This is what you tell yourself to sleep at night. Piet stands beside you at the rail, watching Java fade into tropical haze. You'll never see it again, he says. This is your one voyage, your one time here. Remember it. Remember what it costs to make rich men richer. You will remember. Will remember the slave being whipped, the starving man, the mountains of spices, the black canals, the casual cruelty. Will remember that your sister's life was bought with participation in something terrible. But you will also remember that you tried to be human within an inhuman system, that you gave bread to a starving man, that you saved your wages instead of wasting them, that you endured without becoming callous, that you saw the suffering and did not look away. This is all you can do. Be human. Stay human. Refuse to let the system make you into something you are not. The ship turns west, toward home, toward Amsterdam, toward Gretchen. You are going home. Still months away, but going home. The captain notices your skill, your reliability, calls you to his cabin one morning. Backer, he says, you've proven yourself. I'm promoting you to able seaman. Wages increase to 12 guilders per month. You'll take on additional responsibilities. Navigation assistance. Training new recruits on the next voyage, if you sign on again. 12 guilders per month. 3 more than you started with. Over the remaining year of your contract, that is an additional 36 guilders. Money that will help your family even more. That will give Gretchen an even better chance. You accept. Of course you accept. That evening you tell Piet. Good, he says. His scarred face shows approval. You've earned it. Most boys don't make it this far. You did. You realise Piet is proud of you. This gruff, damaged man who taught you to survive is proud that his teaching worked, that you are still alive, that you are competent. Thank you, you say, for teaching me, for keeping me alive. Piet waves this away. You kept yourself alive. I just showed you how not to be stupid. But you know better. Without Piet, you would be dead. Certainly dead. He taught you the skills, the knowledge, the mindset. He made survival possible. If you're smart, Piet says that night, you'll go home after this voyage. Take your money. See your family. Don't become what I am. You ask what he means. A man who can't live on land anymore, who only knows the ship, who signs on voyage after voyage because he doesn't remember how to be anything else. Piet's voice is quiet. Sad. I haven't been to Utrecht in 8 years. Don't even know if my mother is alive. The sea takes everything eventually, even if it doesn't kill you. You promise yourself you will not become this, will not let the sea consume you. You will complete your 3 years. Go home. See Greetja healthy. Be with your family. You will not sign on again. But that promise is still more than a year away. No letter comes at the last port stop. Ships from Amsterdam have been delayed. Weather, pirates, bureaucracy. Whatever the reason, there is no mail, no news from home. This is torture in ways you did not anticipate. The last letter you received was at Cape Town, 7 months ago. Greetja was improving then. But 7 months is an eternity for a sick child. She could have relapsed, could have developed new illness, could have died. You do not know, cannot know, will not know for possibly months more. The not knowing is worse than bad news. Bad news is definite, can be grieved, can be processed. But not knowing is suspended agony, a constant low-grade panic that colours everything. You work through it, have no choice. But your mind is elsewhere, constantly calculating, constantly imagining scenarios, constantly trying to determine from 7-month-old information whether Greetja is alive today. Piet notices. No letter. No. Ships get delayed doesn't mean anything. I know, but knowing does not help. You become irritable, snap at messmates, work carelessly, almost drop a rope during a sail change. The foreman screams at you, threatens flogging if you cannot focus. That night Piet sits with you. You can't do this, he says quietly. Can't fall apart, can't become useless. Your sister needs you alive, needs you to finish this voyage and bring home the money. You help her by surviving, by doing your job, by getting home. He is right. You know he is right. Falling apart helps no one, least of all Greetja. But what if she's dead, you ask? The question you have not allowed yourself to speak. What if all of this was for nothing? What if I sacrificed 3 years and she died anyway? Piet considers this. Then you did everything you could. That's all anyone can do. You gave her chance, gave her time. If it wasn't enough, that's not your failure. That's just how the world works sometimes. This is cold comfort, but it is comfort of a sort. You did everything possible. Are still doing everything possible. The outcome is beyond your control. You work harder after that conversation. Focus deliberately on tasks, on knots and ropes and sails, on the immediate physical reality of the ship, on things you can control. Cannot control whether Greetja is alive, can control whether you do your job properly, can control whether you survive to find out. The anxiety does not disappear, but it becomes manageable, becomes something you carry, rather than something that carries you. You function, you work, you endure. This is what sailors learn. How to continue functioning while carrying unbearable weight. How to work through grief and fear and uncertainty. How to do the next thing, even when the next thing feels impossible. You are becoming something you did not expect. Not just a skilled sailor, but a man who can endure, can carry weight, can function through suffering. This is not the skill you wanted to learn, but it is the skill the sea teaches, and you are learning it whether you want to or Not. 3 weeks later, you receive news that a Dutch ship was captured by pirates. All mail lost. This explains the delay. The letters were on that ship, destroyed or stolen. Your mother's words, Grietje's news, gone forever. You will have to wait until you reach Amsterdam to know. Another 5 months of not knowing. Another 5 months of carrying this weight. But you carry it. Because you have no choice. Because Grietje needs you to. Because this is what love requires. You are Jan Bakker, 20 years old. You have been at sea for 21 months. You have 14 months to go. And you do not know if your sister is alive. But you continue anyway. Because continuing is all you can do. The dysentery begins in the Java Sea. One sailor develops bloody flux, then another, then 5 more. Within a week, 20 men are sick. The surgeon does what he can, bleeds the patients, gives them opium for the pain. But his interventions rarely help. Dysentery kills or it doesn't. Medicine makes little difference. Men die. Every few days, another body sewn in canvas. Another prayer, another splash as a corpse enters the ocean. The smell below deck becomes unbearable. Excrement and vomit and death. You sleep on deck when you can. Breathe fresh air. Try not to get sick. Piet gets sick. You find him one morning in his hammock, barely conscious, fevered. His bowels have released. The smell is terrible. You clean him. Cannot let him lie in his own waste. Get clean water, clean cloth. Wash him. Empty the waste bucket. Do this every few hours, day after day. Other sailors avoid you. Disease is contagious. Helping the sick means risking infection. But you do not care. Piet taught you to survive. You will not abandon him to die alone. The surgeon comes, examines Piet, shakes his head. Probably won't make it. The fever is too high. But keep him hydrated. That's all you can do. You force water down Piet's throat. Hold his head, make him swallow. He is delirious, calling for someone named Anna. Seeing things that are not there, his body is consuming itself, burning from the inside. You think about Grietje, about her fever, about how your mother tended her, about how your wages bought the medicine that saved her life. You are doing for Piet what your mother did for Grietje. You are keeping him alive through sheer stubbornness. 3 days pass. Piet's fever breaks. He wakes, looks at you. His eyes are clear. You stayed again, he whispers. You're not allowed to die yet, you tell him. You still have to teach me things. Piet smiles weakly. Stubborn bastard. He survives. Weak, thin, but alive. It takes another week before he can walk, 2 weeks before he can work, but he recovers. You kept him alive. The dysentery eventually runs its course. 16 men dead. The crew is depleted. Everyone is exhausted. But the ship continues. Amsterdam draws closer. The end approaches. You receive a letter, forwarded from Batavia. From your mother. Written 6 months ago. Dear Jan, Grietje is well. The coughing has stopped completely. She has gained weight. She laughs again. She is healthy, Jan. You saved her life. She talks about you constantly. Plans what she will say when you return. She has written you a letter of her own. I'm enclosing it. Come home soon. We miss you terribly. Your mother. Enclosed is a second piece of paper. The handwriting is childish. Careful. Grietje's writing. Dear Jan, I am better. I can run now. I can play. I don't cough anymore. Mama says you saved me. Thank you, Jan. Please come home, I miss you. Your sister, Grietje. You sit on the deck holding these letters, reading them over and over. Grietje is well, healthy, alive. Everything you endured, the suffering, the danger, the fear, was worth it. She lived. You saved her. You show the letters to Piet. He reads, nods slowly. This is why you signed on? For your sister? Yes. Piet is quiet for a moment, then, worth it, family is worth it. You agree. Every moment of suffering, every fear, every hardship, worth it. Grietje is alive. That is all that matters. The coast of Holland appears on the horizon. Grey, flat, home. You've been gone 3 years, 1,095 days. You have survived. against odds that killed 4 in 10 of your crewmates. You are coming home. The ship docks. The gangplank is lowered. You stand with your sea chest, everything you own in the world, your wages, carefully saved except for necessities, letters from home, Piet's spare shirt, the bone-handled knife from Batavia. Small things, but yours. Piet stands beside you, his face heavily scarred now. The rope cut, the dysentery. 3 years have aged him. He looks 50, though he is 38. VOC is offering bonuses for experienced crew, Piet says quietly. Good money, double wages for immediate sign-on. You look at him, understand what he is asking, sign on for another voyage. Make more money. Creature is well, but money is always needed. Your mother is getting older. More wages would secure their future. But you promised yourself, promised you would not become like Piet, would not let the sea consume you, would go home. What will you do? You ask. Piet looks at the ship, at the ocean beyond. Sign on again, I don't know how to do anything else anymore. This is all I am. You feel sadness for him, this capable, damaged man who saved your life, who cannot save himself, who will sail until the sea finally takes him. Go home, Jan, Piet says. See your sister. Don't become me. You still have something to return to. You grip his shoulder. Thank you for everything, for teaching me, for keeping me alive, for being a friend. Piet nods, cannot speak. You see tears in his eyes. He turns away quickly, walks back onto the ship, going to sign papers for another 3 years. Another voyage. Another postponement of the life he might have had if the sea had not claimed him first. You walk down the gangplank, onto solid ground. The earth feels strange, steady, not moving. Your body expects motion that is not there. You stumble slightly. Sea legs on land. It will take days to adjust. You walk toward the VOC office to collect your final wages, your bonus, the money you have earned through 3 years of hell, the money that saved Greech's life. You walk north, away from Amsterdam, toward Friesland, toward your village, toward your family. The journey takes 5 days on foot, 120 miles. You walk alone, with your sea chest on your back, everything you own in the world. Your legs ache. You have not walked this much on solid ground in 3 years. At sea you climbed and hauled, but rarely walked long distances. Your body does not remember how to do this. By evening your feet are blistered. Your back screams from the chest's weight. You sleep in a barn. A farmer lets you stay in exchange for help with evening chores. You milk cows. The work is pleasant, simple. Your hands remember this from childhood, before everything became complicated, before Greacher got sick, before you had to leave. The landscape is flat green, nothing like the ocean. The horizon is fixed, does not move, does not roll. Your body keeps expecting motion that does not come. Sea legs on land. You stumble occasionally, confused by solid ground. You pass through villages, small places that remind you of home. Women washing clothes in streams, children playing, men working fields. Normal life. The kind of life you left behind. The kind of life you might return to. You buy bread from a baker. It is good bread. Fresh. Nothing like ship's biscuit. You eat slowly. Savour every bite. This is what you are fighting for. Not exotic spices or foreign ports, but fresh bread in a Dutch village. Simple pleasures that feel miraculous after 3 years without them. Rain. Cold rain that soaks through your clothes. You are miserable, but also grateful. Rain means you are home, means you are in a climate where rain is cold, not the tropical storms of the Indies, just Dutch rain, grey and steady and familiar. You think about Piet, wonder if he has already left on another voyage, wonder if he will survive, wonder if the sea will finally take him, or if he will die old in some foreign port, still trying to escape the man he was on land. You hope he survives, hope he finds peace. But you know he probably will not. Some men are too broken to save. Piet taught you to survive, but he could not teach himself. You are close now. Recognise landmarks, the church steeple of a nearby town, the windmill on the hill, the road that leads to your village. Everything is the same, as if you never left. as if 3 years did not pass. The world continued without you. Your heart is pounding. What if Gretchen is not well? What if the last letter was wrong? What if you arrive to find her grave? You have carried hope for 3 years, endured hell because you believed your sacrifice mattered. But what if it did not? You force yourself to continue. Cannot turn back now. Cannot spend the rest of your life wondering. You need to know, need to see. Morning. You reach your village. It looks exactly as you remember. Same houses, same streets, same smell of peat smoke and cooking food. You walk slowly, every step bringing you closer. Your hands are shaking, your throat is tight. You see your mother's house, small, leaning slightly, in need of repair, but still standing, still home. Your mother is outside, hanging laundry. Her back is to you. She is humming. A tune you remember from childhood. She sounds happy. This is a good sign. She would not be humming if Gretchen were dead. You stop. Cannot move. 3 years of tension releasing all at once. Your legs are weak. Your vision blurs. You are home. You made it. You survived. Mother, you call. Your voice breaks. She turns, sees you. Her face transforms. Every emotion at once. Shock, joy, relief, disbelief. She drops the laundry, runs to you. You have never seen your mother run. She's always dignified, always controlled. But now she runs. She collides with you. Her arms around you, holding you so tight you can barely breathe. She's crying. You are crying. You just hold each other. 3 years of separation collapsing into this moment. You came back, she keeps saying. You came back. You came back. The door opens. Gretchen appears. She's grown, taller, healthier. Rosy cheeks, bright eyes, no cough. She looks like a normal 14-year-old girl. Alive, healthy, saved. She stares at you. For a moment she does not move, just stares, taking in that you are real, that you are here, that you kept your promise. Then she runs, faster than your mother. She crashes into you, nearly knocks you over. You lift her, spin her around like you did when she was small. She laughs. That beautiful sound, the sound you sailed 3 years to preserve, the sound that makes everything worth it. You're really here, she says, touching your face, your hair, your hands, making sure you are real, not a dream, not a ghost. Her brother, alive, home. I promised, didn't I? Your voice is rough, can barely speak. I waited, she says. I waited for you. I got better, just like you said I would. You hold her, this child who almost died, who lived because you were willing to endure hell, who lived because you made the choice to save her. She is solid, real, warm, alive. The neighbours come. Word spreads quickly in small villages. People gather to see you, to welcome you home. They ask about the voyage, about exotic lands, about adventures. You tell them edited version, the parts they want to hear, not the death, not the disease, not the constant fear, just the dolphins and stars and foreign ports. That evening your mother cooks, a proper meal, fresh food, vegetables from the garden, chicken, bread, cheese. You eat slowly, taste everything. Your body is confused, has forgotten what fresh food is like, has adapted to salt pork and weevils. This is overwhelming, wonderful. Home. You give your mother the money, your saved wages, the final payment, the completion bonus, 48 guilders total. She cannot believe it, cannot believe the amount. This is 2 years of her wages. This is security. This is possibility. This is everything. She cries again, cannot stop crying. You have given her something she never expected to have. Financial security, the ability to repair the house, to buy good food, to save for the future. Your sacrifice bought all of this. Thank you, she whispers. Thank you for saving us, for saving Gretchen, for being willing to go, for coming home. That night, you lie in a real bed, your childhood bed, soft, still. The room is quiet. No men breathing, no creaking wood, no motion. Just silence and stillness and the knowledge that you are home, safe, that Gretchen sleeps in the next room, healthy, alive. You look at your hands in the moonlight. They are weapons now, calloused, scarred. The rope grooves permanent. You will never have soft hands again. These hands hauled rope in storms, climbed rigging in darkness, held Piet through fever. These hands saved your sister's life. You think about the sailors who did not come home, Hans who died of infection, the 3 men washed overboard, the 16 who died of dysentery. You survived, they did not. The difference was luck, nothing more. You think about Piet, signing on for another voyage, cannot stop himself. The sea has him, will have him until it kills him. You feel sadness, gratitude, hope that he survives. But no, he probably will not. The odds catch everyone eventually. You have survived. You have saved Gretchen. You are home. This is victory. Not glorious, not celebrated in history. Just personal, real. The victory of keeping the people you love alive. Of enduring hell so that others do not have to. Of being willing to sacrifice 3 years of your life so that your sister could have the rest of hers. You close your eyes. Sleep comes easily for the first time in 3 years. No watch to stand. No danger to fear. No ocean trying to kill you. Just sleep. Deep. Peaceful. Home. You have adapted to land. Found work as a carpenter's assistant. Your strength from sailing makes you valuable. Your hands, calloused and skilled, know how to work wood. The carpenter appreciates your discipline, your ability to work without complaint. Your understanding that all work is hard, but some work does not kill you. Gretchen is healthy. Completely healthy. The cough never returned. She is growing normally, laughing, playing, living the childhood that almost ended at 12. Every time you see her, you feel vindicated. The sacrifice was worth it. The 3 years of hell bought this. Her life, her future. Your mother has repaired the house, new roof, fixed walls. The money you brought home made it possible. She also saved some. 60 guilders in a hidden place. Security against future disaster. Against the next crisis. She sleeps better now, worries less. The fear of poverty that haunted her has eased. One evening Gretchen asks about the voyage, wants to know what it was really like. Not the edited version you tell neighbours, but the truth. You consider lying, protecting her from the reality. But she's 14 now, old enough for truth. You tell her about the suffering, the disease, the death, the constant fear, the grinding exhaustion. You tell her about Hans dying of infection, about Piet scarred and broken but still sailing, about the men washed overboard, about everything you endured. She listens, her eyes wide. When you finish, she is quiet for a long time. "You did that for me?" she finally asks, her voice small. "Yes." "That was too much," she says. "You suffered too much. I wasn't worth that." You grab her shoulders, look her in the eyes. You were worth every second, every moment of suffering, every fear, every hardship. You were worth all of it, and I would do it again, without hesitation, because you are my sister, and you deserved to live. She cries, you hold her, and you understand something important. Your sacrifice was not just about her life, it was about showing her that she matters, that she is loved, that someone would endure hell to keep her alive. This knowledge will shape her forever, will give her confidence, will teach her that she has value. This is what your 3 years bought. Not just her life, but her understanding that she is worth fighting for, worth suffering for, worth dying for if necessary. You are Jan Bakker, 21 years old. You were a sailor for 3 years. You survived, you came home, and you saved your sister's life. And that makes you richer than any VOC merchant, richer than any captain or officer. Because you have something they will never have. The knowledge that your suffering had meaning, that your sacrifice mattered, that you kept the people you love alive. You look at Gretchen, at her healthy face, at her bright eyes, at the life she gets to live because you were willing to endure. Worth it. All of it. Worth it. Thank you for walking this journey with Jan Bakker, for understanding that behind the grand story of Dutch maritime empire were thousands of boys who sailed not for adventure, but for survival. who endured hell to keep their families alive, who sacrificed years of their lives so that others could have futures. The VOC sent over 1 million sailors to the Indies across its existence. Roughly half of them died. The company kept meticulous records of ships and cargo. But individual sailors mostly disappeared from history, their names in ledgers that no one reads anymore. But each name was a Jan Bakker. Each was someone's brother or son. Each had a reason for signing. Each endured the voyage. Each either survived or did not. Each had a story that mattered, even if history forgot it. Jan's hands, the transformation from soft to weapon, remind us that labour leaves marks that skill is earned through suffering, that the cost of surviving is often written on our bodies. His sacrifice for Gretchen reminds us what people will endure for love, that sometimes 3 years of hell is a fair trade for someone else's life, that the mathematics of sacrifice are simple when it is someone you love. And Piet, the mentor who could not save himself, reminds us that some men are consumed by the very thing they mastered, that the sea that made them capable also made them unable to live without it. That expertise can become prison. If you found value in Jan's story, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm curious where in the world you're listening from tonight, so please leave a comment below. May Jan's story remind us that ordinary sacrifice is often the most meaningful, that keeping one person alive matters more than glory, that the brother who sailed so his sister could live is as important as any admiral who claimed continents. And may his return home remind us that some stories have happy endings. Not all, but some. And those endings, the ones where the sailor comes home and the sister is saved and the family survives, are worth everything. I wish you a calm and peaceful night.